Hi, everyone. Welcome to episode number 60 of the Atlas Annuity podcast. My name is Marty Becker. I am your host and owner of Atlas Financial Strategies in St. Louis, Missouri, where we specialize in safe money retirement strategies. In this episode, we're going to do a brief overview of the Midland National Accelerate 5 fixed indexed annuity. The Accelerate 5 is issued by Midland National, which you probably figured out. They are a member of Salmons Financial. The roots of Midland National can actually be traced back to 1906 as the Dakota Mutual Life Insurance Company. They have an A plus rating, and I can tell you from personal experience, they have excellent customer service. I can't say enough good things about Midland National. What are some of the details of the Accelerate 5? It is a 5-year surrender term. It actually has 5 indexes to choose from, which is really good for a shorter term annuity. A lot of times, the shorter term fixed index annuities don't give you as many options. And there was a point in time to where the Accelerate 5 didn't give you this many options either. But now they're offering the S&P Mark 5%. That's a really good index. It's very stable and steady performing. It's been around for a long time. The Fidelity Multi-Factor Yield Index 5% ER, the NASDAQ 100 VC 12% index. And if you don't know what these terms mean, go back to some of my earlier podcasts, and I'm talking like episodes 3, 4, or 5. And I explain what all these terms mean. But basically, these are volatility controlled or excess return controlled indexes that they try to limit the volatility inside of it to help produce a more consistent return so they don't have the huge ups and downs in them. The S&P 500 Dynamic Intraday TCA index. That's a newer index along with the Fidelity Multifactor. These have only been around for a few years. Any of that back testing should really just be taken with a grain of salt. Doesn't mean there's anything wrong with the index itself. It just means it's new. So we don't really know how it's going to perform. And then you have the good old trusty S&P 500, and they offer a fixed interest account because every year or every 2 years they're going to give you the option to reallocate where the money is tracking these indexes. Now, at the end of the day, it's really just a good idea to try and diversify across all the offerings in an equal manner. Through my experience, you normally come out better that way instead of just putting all your hopes and dreams into a single index performing at any given time. Now, their participation rates and their caps are very good. They're very competitive, especially for a 5-year product. But Midland also has an 8-year and a 10-year term option for their fixed index annuity, which obviously is going to be better. The longer the commitment you give to them, the better the deal they're going to give you. And what are some of the key benefits of the Accelerate 5? Number one, it's a shorter term, which is always nice, but you have that 10% penalty free withdrawal starting in the second year. There are some 5 years out there that will only give you a 5% starting in the second year. So 10% is nice. It has no fees with it. The only fee that could be in there is number one, 100% optional. Okay. And number two, that's going to be based on your crediting strategies that you pick. So for instance, if you want the S&P 500 to track for a fee, they would give you a bigger cap rate or participation rate if you're willing to have that expense assessed against your account value. I personally don't ever recommend that because it's very possible you could just have a 0% year, but you're still going to be assessed that expense, which means your account value could go backwards, which totally defeats the purpose of a fixed indexed annuity that's designed for growth and protection. That's my personal opinion. You do what you want, it's your money. It comes with the standard nursing home confinement waiver. If you unfortunately find yourself committed to a skilled nursing facility, I believe there's a 90-day exclusion period in there. Midland National will free up all the money with no surrender charges, no penalties, no market value adjustment, anything. They'll send the money back to you. The death benefit, your spouse, if she's not a joint annuitant on a non-qualified contract, okay, non-qualified annuity, you already pay tax on the money, then you gave it to Midland National. If she is the primary beneficiary listed, then she would have the option to just get whatever the current account value is that you're passing, or they will give her the option to continue to the end of the term. This is designed for growth. Okay, this is not an income product. But the nice thing is it does not annuitize until age 115. What that means is with any annuity or cash value life insurance policy, if you live to a certain age, whatever their specified age is, if you're still alive, you're going to get to an age where they're going to say you either need to take the income option or you need to just take the money and get it out of here. Now, you may be saying, Marty, you just told me this was not an income product. Okay, with the caveat, every annuity, whether it's designed for growth or it's designed for income, has what's called an annuitization stage, meaning whatever their designated age is, if you live until that age, you either have to take the money somewhere else or you have to pick one of their annuitized income selections, meaning, hey, yeah, just I want to guarantee that this will give me a monthly income for the rest of my life. Or, hey, I want this thing to pay me every month or pay someone every month for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, whether I'm alive or dead. They're going to make you choose that option. Some companies make you annuitize at like 90 or 95. Midland pushes that off to 115. So there, if you want to keep the money with them, there really should be no no event in the future unless you live to be 116 where they're going to say, "Hey, you got to move the money or annuitize it." Hopefully that made sense to everybody. And that goes to the next point where you can keep the money with Midland National even after the term is up and still have 100% liquidity. So if you like how it's been performing, you don't want to move it, but you don't want to get into another surrender term somewhere, you can keep it with Midland National and it'll be 100% liquid. Now, the rates that they offer you will be subject to whatever they're offering new policies at that time, but you won't enter into a new surrender term, which is really nice. But one of my favorite things about the Midland National Accelerate 5 is they offer a rate lock. Okay, so a rate lock means whatever the indexing and the crediting strategies are at the time your policy is issued, Midland will not adjust those whatsoever. So they're never going to go lower than what they initially offered you. If you don't understand that, go back and listen to, I think it's episode 4, How Annuity Companies Make Money, and why annuity companies have to adjust their crediting rates possibly at certain points. They don't want to do that. It all has to do with the options cost that they are purchasing on your behalf. That part is totally out of their control. But Midland National is really good at what they call their pricing. So with a shorter term annuity, they're saying, hey, we feel that we can offer you a rate lock and guarantee that we're never going to have to lower the index crediting strategies. That's nice because there's only a handful of companies that offer a rate lock, and there's even fewer that offer it on a 5-year term. But then one of the newer developments just in the past 6 to 12 months at the most are these things called internal Roth conversions. That is where you can open this annuity with a traditional IRA or a 401 or a 403 or any series of numbers and letters that are out there, pre tax money. And Midland National will allow you to start doing internal Roth conversions without resetting the surrender term. And then you can move all that money to where all of the money and then all of the growth will be tax free once you decide to tap into it. So between the rate lock and the option to do Roth conversions and the financial rating and the customer service of Midland National, this one's a winner all day long. I like doing these product reviews every now and again, and my goal is not to bash every other product out there that maybe someone else recommended to you. It's to give you maybe a little bit of a deeper dive into some of the nuances of the annuity itself. So if you have questions about the Midland National Accelerate 5, feel free to reach out to me. Or if you have questions on your personal retirement strategy and want to learn more about the Atlas Annuity strategy, all you have to do is go to atlasannuity.com and book a short phone call. And if you are finding this information helpful, please do us a favor. You can like and subscribe to the podcast and like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Share this information with somebody that you think would find it helpful. Again, everybody, this has been episode 60 of the Atlas Annuity podcast. This is Marty Becker wishing you all the best in your financial education. We'll see you in the next episode.